Welcome back. First of all, we'll explore what's beyond this double jump ledge that the demo never lets us access. This is actually more difficult than you'd think because they used invisible walls and removed collision and a lot of stuff here. There's even an enemy which falls through the ground. We arrive at a very unfinished area. It has archer enemies, whereas in the final game there are no enemies here. Sometimes a weird glitch happens when charging the switch. I'm not sure why. There are strange rock formations surrounding the dark gem instead of the dark goo in the final game. Also, in the earlier demos, destroying dark gems that you weren't supposed to reach will lock Spyro in place. Luckily this doesn't happen in this demo. Sergeant Byrd doesn't appear to have any lines recorded yet, so they simply have this basic animation loop instead, and some dialogue which is different from the final game. If you select yes, then Byrd will warp to a point further away, walk into the empty portal frame, and the game will freeze, because the minigame map isn't in this demo. If you select no, Spyro will walk away and gameplay resumes as normal. The next area behind the secret wall isn't much different, although there are no archers here like there is in the final game. In the professor's lab, there's some missing collision, which lets Spyro fall through the ground. As well as this, the professor does not have any lines recorded for him either, so he also has this text-only dialogue. He tells us that he's been working on Gordon, which stands for the Gyroscopic Orbital Device and Opal Navigator. I assume it's the ball gadget he's talking about, because it's never called Gordon in the final game. He also interestingly tells us that he needs both gems and light gems to activate the gadget, which suggests that gems would have had a greater purpose than just currency for the shop. The walls don't have collision, so we can easily jump out of the lab. Next, let's look at what's behind the boss barrier. Unfortunately, there isn't a whole lot to see. It doesn't lead anywhere. I have a feeling they just quickly put this together as some background scenery because Gnasty's lair hadn't been finished at this point. Next up, the cave after the bridge area. This is where Elder Thomas ended up the final game. The map screen shows that we're out of bounds, but that's just because this part of the level wasn't drawn in as we're never meant to access it. Going further into the cave, we see something interesting. Instead of Thomas standing here, there's an entirely different set of platforms in the middle. This is a recreation of some concept art for the game. The color of the whole room even changes when the dark gem is destroyed, also like in the concept art. The demo never intends for us to go past the rock we just destroyed, so an invisible wall remains blocking us from going back. We arrive at the second level of the demo. Now we will check out what's really behind that gate next to Hunter. There's a shop pad, which has different graphics to the final game, but works as you would expect. There's a teleport to main shop option, which I'll show in action sometime later. This area has no water stream going through it near the start, and a slightly different layout and missing objects. This is also the only time we see a blue Nork in this demo. Where a door to the nursery would usually be, is a gate powered by a horn dive switch. The nursery room is completely empty, unfortunately. Interestingly, we can horn dive the switch again to close the gate. That's it for the out of bounds areas in Dragon Village. There's a ball gadget here, but I'll show what that leads in part 3. Thanks for watching.